and subscribe right now, or this will be in your bed tonight.
Hello and welcome back to ProRevenge. Before we start, please scroll down and click like and subscribe. This means that you will get more videos from me. Please like and subscribe with notifications on, and it will really help me out. Thanks. Owner of server bans lead builder. Builder pulls a +4 reverse card. So basically, I was searching through random servers when I found a civilization server. So I asked if I could become builder because I was bored as heck. After getting builder, I started helping by making large improvements to the spawn town, upgraded the castle, taught the owner how to use world edit, and together, we made a massive arch that went across the entrance to the bay. Overall, I spent all my free time over the course of 3 days on this one server. I spent about 20 to 30 hours on it. Then one day, soon, I get lead builder. One day, I noticed that a different op had joined. I remembered that the owner shared ownership with a friend, so I didn't suspect anything. As they started building, I noticed that they were expanding a house that didn't fit into the town's theme. I remembered about the owner telling me that he didn't like the house because it didn't fit in with the theme, so I asked them if I could world edit it to a better location and start work on the second town. They swiftly insulted me with a few dumb, "I'm friends with the owner" type insults and refused to move it. I eventually decided that it would have been fine as it didn't completely destroy the feeling of the town. After a few more minutes, I was making an admin troll room because I was bored. As I was testing, I accidentally lag kicked one of them. I quickly fixed it and apologized when they rejoined. They proceeded to insult and threaten to ban or tell the owner about it for the next 4 hours. At that point, I was starting to build a larger naval fortress that would overlook the town. As I was doing the redstone from a YouTube tutorial, they started making sarcastic remarks about my builds and my bad redstone. How about you make a 6x14 door for the first time in your life? Eventually, I accidentally make a world edit accident, and we argue about who did it as I had no idea I made it. Eventually he says he has video proof, so I decide to believe him, not thinking it might have been a bluff. So I fix it. It's a bit rough, but it fits in with the strange geometric style of the custom landscape the owner was building. After arguing about it for a few times, they decide to start spamming kill on me. So I do it back as I now had lead builder and opus. They swiftly start insulting me and my age for over an hour. I make a joke about spawning some lightning on their build, even though lightning was toggled off, and they ban me. I tried getting an appeal, but the owner wouldn't listen. Because the other op was apparently his GF. I'm definitely mad about this entire situation. So I MSG the owner on Discord and tell him what happened. Unfortunately, his GF must have had an influence on him as he starts cussing and swearing at me, calling me a delinquent multiple times, even though we worked together many times and building many of the larger medieval buildings in his server. I did get some revenge though. I'm highly competitive, and I do have some anger issues from some bad parenting, so I didn't give up immediately. I remembered that the owner gave me access to his Minahut account, so I could also help him script and add other plugins. So I checked if anyone was on. No one was on. I started the server, no one joined. I unbanned myself. I didn't get any MSGS from the owner, so I join. Try to world edit, but it's removed, so I do a big brain and put a full 80 TNT, remove anti-fire toggles, and blow up all the work we did. Might as well remove what I did. I then trash the rest of the server, and delete his anti-cheat plugins. I sure hope he's having fun rebuilding an entire quarantine's worth of Minecraft builds. I also deleted his world saves, =D. Update: Escaping a hostile work environment. By the book. This is an update to my original post from last year. TL. Doctor from last post, arsehole boss, Jim, moves to new role, poisons the well with my business partners by telling them I was the highest paid person on his prior team. They, Pat and Wanda, set out to make my life so miserable I almost quit. I decide instead to fuck them over by the book. After going on bereavement, because my mom died, I decided that, rather than coming back, I would take a much needed extended medical leave, leaving them hanging for their upcoming releases, all the while still collecting that highest paid salary for a good, long while. I left one minor detail out of my first post. My mother was incredibly abusive, and we hadn't spoken for 5 years. My bereavement leave was a week of chilling out trying to figure out what to do about work, because I didn't even go to her funeral. No one at work knew this. My official story was I was grieving such a devastating loss, and that's what you'll read in the original post. I think that's enough to catch everyone up. Here's how everything's gone down since. First, the leave could not have come at a better time. The day I made my last post, my sweet cat Ray was not himself. In fact, that's the last video I took of him. I took him to the emergency vet, where we found out he had lymphoma in his liver and pancreas. We had to let him go a couple of days later. There was no way I could have worked and grieved for him at the same time, and going on medical leave right after your cat dies is not nearly as socially acceptable as taking leave after your mom dies. Rest in peace, my sweet boy. I was spinning for a good couple of weeks after that. My arms still hurt a lot, and I wasn't able to type for more than 20 to 30 minutes, and even that hurt. I continued physical therapy, and was frustrated at how slow the progress was. My therapist asked me to video myself typing at home. He took one look at it, and saw the problem immediately. My desk and chair were fine. The horizontal and vertical parts of my workspace were fine. The problem was that my keyboard was too narrow, so my arms were constantly at an angle which caused stress on all the joints. At his recommendation, I bought an ergonomic split keyboard and immediately noticed a difference. By the end of the year I was pain-free, although I still can't type for as long as I used to because my out-of-pocket maximum had been reached with my health insurance. I took the opportunity to get everything checked out under the hood. I'm 48, so I had a colonoscopy and endoscopy. Fun. The doc says my colon is perfect, so if I ever need a Tinder bio, I know what to lead with. I went to the dermatologist, gynecologist, every ologist in the book, and except for my shitty arms, I'm pretty healthy. I also went into an IARP, intensive outpatient program, for therapy the last 6 weeks of the year, where I spent 3 hours, 3 days a week in group therapy with other people. I made some amazing and fascinating new friends, including a paramedic and firefighter both coping with PTSD, an Afghanistan veteran and several others. I also learned about complex trauma from childhood abuse and came to realize that my anxiety, depression and ADHD were not necessarily 3 separate diagnoses, but instead were symptoms of complex PTSD, likely related to my mother's continual abuse and a few other traumatic childhood events. Because of IARP, I'm now working with a trauma therapist and left my general therapist. After decades of regular therapy barely helping, I have someone to work with to help me truly put my past in the past, so I can heal emotionally. My mother's death and this leave was the best thing that could have happened for my physical and emotional health. When I made my last post, I resented the hell out of Jim, Pat and Wanda for being so cruel to me at work. I still don't like them, but I've moved past resentment, and I'm now grateful for the situation, because their hostility was the catalyst that got me the treatment I've needed for decades. My husband and I also met with our financial advisor who, after running the numbers, made it clear that for both of us, work should be considered as more of a want-to thing than a need-to activity. Turns out dual income, no kids and saving throughout my 25-year career was a good decision. So I decided I don't want to work for this company anymore. My leave ended, and I returned to work 2 days ago. As soon as I returned, I sat down with my new manager and told him about Jim, Pat and Wanda. Of course, no one had filled him in on their behavior. I gave him some hard copies of emails documenting their stunts. He was shocked by that, but was not surprised when I ended my 5-minute summary with, "So unfortunately I'm going to have to resign." I handed over my letter with my 2 weeks notice. He asked me if I truly wanted to work those 2 weeks and I said, not particularly, no, but I do want to get some things off my work computer, so I need to get it back online. He agreed it would be a waste for me to try to really pick up anything. I jumped through the hoops of getting my computer online to get those docs. I blocked Jim, Pat and Wanda, along with 3 other people who were toxic, but not quite as nasty as those 3. As soon as I pulled up Manuscript Communicator, I'm not attending any meetings. I have just one meeting on my calendar next week, the one where my new manager will announce my departure to the team. Meanwhile, I'm getting paid full salary for these 2 weeks as well, and I'll get all my 2020 vacation days paid out when I leave. So, the final tally of just how much Jim's asshole move cost my company and benefited me: 1 week of bereavement leave at 100% of my salary, 8 weeks of FMLA paid at 100%, 4 weeks of FMLA paid at 65%, 1.5 weeks of extended certified medical leave paid at 65%, 2 weeks of salary at 100%, 4 weeks of PTO payout at 100%, for a grand total of 20.5 weeks or 5 months of salary at varying rates for doing nothing but taking care of my own damn self. And I'm not including the thousands of dollars I didn't have to pay while getting checkups, medical procedures, physical therapy and group therapy, as it was all covered by my company's medical insurance. I'm also not including what they all had to go through to put a new person on these releases, and all the stress I didn't have because I didn't end up delivering on these projects. The weekend in November, when my project was set to go live, I was in another town for an old friend's memorial, seeing people I hadn't seen in 20 years. I wouldn't have been able to attend if I hadn't gone on leave. I'm not going to reveal my salary, but I will say that the last several months have cost the company tens of thousands of dollars for my salary alone. The other benefits I've reaped, on top of the salary, have been immeasurable. They say living well is the best revenge, and it's true. Jim, Pat and Wanda are still their ugly ass selves, chained to their desks, bitter and making sure everyone around them knows it. As for me, I'm free of the chains of a 9-to-5 job. I don't think I'm going to look for another job for quite some time, and when I do, it's going to have to be something I want to do, not something I need to do. Now I just need to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. TL. Doctor, prior manager and business partners were assholes to me because they were jealous of my salary. I had a minor breakdown and took medical leave, grieved for the loss of my pet, the loss of an old friend, got healthier and got the therapy I really need to heal emotionally from some major shit in my life, all while still collecting that salary they were so jealous of. And now I'm leaving them behind to go fuck themselves while I figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life. Thank you all for watching to the end of the video. But before you go, please like and subscribe for more. Not many of you at all that watch are subscribed or like the video, and this makes me unsure if I should continue to make more content or not. So if you want more content, please like and subscribe. If you don't want to miss out on any future videos, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button. Also, please give me some feedback in the comment section about what I can do better, because not many people comment on my videos, so I have no idea of people's opinions of thoughts about this YouTube channel. So yeah, that's all from me. If you have subscribed and liked the video, please consider sharing the video with your friends. Thanks and bye. I'm still doing daily uploads, so hope to see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.